A recent update to Hypixel Skyblock added an area known as the Museum. This area allows players to show off their wealth by putting their rare and valuable items on display for the world to see. While this update is cool, I guess, it doesn't really serve any practical purposes in terms of progression throughout the game. It gives you access to some small perks and some unique crafts, but other than that, it does almost nothing, so when it first released, I basically ignored it. The one cool thing this update has going for it is that it allows players to determine exactly when their items were created relative to other players. For example, when the Dwarven Mines first released, I spent a stupid amount of money to get Sorrow Armor when it was very brand new, and so that means I have the third set created. That's pretty cool and I enjoy showing it off, but it really isn't anything crazy. When I learned this and I saw that my Sorrow Armor was in fact the third armor set created, I was pretty proud. I thought it was pretty cool, but other than that, I didn't really see many ways that I could really use this update. However, in a video I released about a month ago, I crafted one of the most expensive singular items in the entire game, which is the Divin's Drill. One of the important things to note about the museum is that when you donate an item to it, it becomes soulbound, meaning that you can no longer trade it or sell it to any other player in any way. However, I knew that I wanted to keep my Divin's Drill for basically my entire playthrough, so I decided to donate it just to see how much it would be evaluated at. However, when I did this, I was met with a very strange surprise, because some way, somehow, my Divin's Drill ended up being the very first Divin's Drill created on the entire server. While for most players this would just be a cool thing to show off to their friends, it had me extremely confused because I had only crafted that drill a few weeks prior. The video in which I crafted my Divin's Drill released on November 3rd, over 3 months after the Crystal Hollows had been released. This confused me a lot and it got me thinking, how do I have the oldest Divin's Drill on the entire server when I crafted it almost 3 months after the update was released? The answer comes down to a combination of 3 different things. The first of these is that although I was majorly slacking when the Crystal Hollows released and I was super late to the update, I was the exact opposite for the Dwarven Mines. I was one of the first players to craft DRX 355. When this update first released, I grinded it a ridiculous amount. I didn't have my main computer, so I couldn't make content. All I could do was just grind. I was also depressed, but like that's a different story. This meant that I was one of the very first people in the game to craft the DRX 355. The second factor which allowed me to have the oldest Divin's Drill in the entire game is that when you craft items into new items in Skyblock, they retain a lot of their data. There are a lot of data associated with items in Hypixel Skyblock, like their reforges, their enchants, and all of the different things that make them into the item that they are, and one of those things is their crafting date. Just like how when you craft a DRX 355 into a DRX 455, it retains all of its enchants and reforges, it also retains its crafting date. That's why when you look at my Divin's Drill, it says that it was crafted on January 23rd, 2021, a full 6 months before the Crystal Hollows was released. The thing that still had me confused is that I knew my 355 was not the oldest 355 on the server. Although mine was crafted early, I knew there were players who had earlier ones, which had me extremely confused. How is mine still the oldest? That led me to my final realization, which allows me to have the first Divin's Drill in the entire game, which is that most of those players did not play anymore. I know some of the OG Mithril miners probably still do play, but I bet a lot of them haven't put their Divin's Drill in the museum or haven't even crafted their 555s into Divin Drills. After this video releases, there's a decent chance one of these people will come along and put their Divin Drill into the museum, dethroning my currently #1 placed Divin's Drill, but for now I will be pretty content with crafting an item 3 months after the update was released and still having the first. For those of you wondering why I didn't craft my Divin's Drill earlier, I should probably tell a lot of you that don't know that I barely play Skyblock anymore. I've been busy with college, and most of the time the only reasons I play Skyblock are so I can make content about it. And yes, I know my upload schedule as of late has been horribly inconsistent, and most of that is just due to the fact that I'm really busy with college and having a life. I also know that this style of content is extremely unlike what I normally do, but if you guys enjoyed, I would really appreciate if you went down and commented your support, along with liking the video and subscribing to my channel. A lot of YouTubers will say that they don't read through their comment section, but I read almost every single comment, and I really do appreciate the kind words. That is just about all I have for this video, so for now, I'll see you guys later, and adios.